สวัสดีค่ะทุกคน Hi everyone, welcome back to my Facebook page. My name is Sarah. Today I have a very special guest with me. He's gonna show up here soon. ลูกมาสิคะ Today we're gonna be talking. We're actually going to be reacting to Thai learner speaking Thai. And we just want to point out how important it is to learn to walk first before you want to run. Okay, so let's see here. Luke is trying to get in. Luke is not here yet. Oh, Luke is here. Okay. Right. มาแล้ว ได้ยินพี่ไหมคะ
ได้ยินแล้วครับสวัสดีค
ส
รั
วัส
บ
ดีค่ะลูก Thank you for being here นะคะ ขอบคุณที่มาร่วมไลฟ์สตรีมวันนี้ ได้ยินพี่ชัดไหมคะ
ได้ยินชัดครับชัด
โอเค เดี๋ยวจะลองให้ฟังคลิปด้วยว่ามันชัดหรือเปล่า เดี๋ยวค่อยว่า
ได้
กัน
ครับได้ลอง sound test ได้ครับ
ลองเทสดูนะคะ ก็สดกันมากเลยทีเดียวเดี๋ยวลองเปิดให้ฟังนี้ก่อน
ครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
ได้ยินไหม
ได้ยินครับ
ชื่ออะไร
ดั
คะ
งอาจจะดังไปนิดนึงหรือเปล่า
ดังไปใช่ไหมได้
ดัง
โอเค
ดังไปนิด
ได้ลง
นิดนึงดังกว่าเสียงพี่ไม่น้อยเลยฮะ
เพราะว่าพี่ปรับเป็นมากเยอะมากเลยมากเป็นแบบประมาณเกือบ
กลัวไม่ได้ยินไง
ใช่
ครับ
กลัวไม่
เข้า
ได้
ใจ
ยินใช่ก็เลยแบบปรับซะแบบว่าดังเวอร์น่าจะอย่างนี้ป่ะน่าจะได้นะ
คุณไมเคิลมาจากไหนคะ
ได้ครับ
ก็มาจากแคนาดาครับ
ได้ยินเสียงผู้ชายไหม
ได้ยินครับได้ยินเสียงผู้ชายค
โอ
รับ
เค
ครับ
เริ่มเลยละกัน
let's go
วันนี้เราจะมาทำอะไรคะลูก
ก็จะมาพูดถึงจะพูดถึงเรื่องที่ว่าทำไมเราควรต้องฝึกให้พื้นฐานแน่นก่อนให้เราควรต้องมีปูพื้นฐานก่อน แล้วก็ค่อยฝึกพูดแบบเร็วๆค่อยฝึกพูดแบบให้มันเป็นธรรมชาติอะไรอย่างเงี้ยฮะเพราะว่าถ้าเราไม่มีพื้นฐานอ่ะมันก็จะไปยากนะครับ it's quite difficult to especially in a language is difficult it's different I don't want to say Thai is difficult but it's very different from English if we speak with the assumption that we can just sort of do things as we would normally do we run into the same problems that Thai speakers of English run into, right? It's the same exact thing. You speak in a way where only people who are very, very used to your accent will be able to understand you. And, well, with Thai, that's a big problem because unlike English, it's not an international language, right? So not everyone is, I mean, I grew up listening to Indian accents, British accents, not so many New Zealand accents, right? So when I hear a New Zealand accent for the first time, it's a bit difficult, right? But Thai people grow up listening mostly to Thai people speaking Thai.
Right.
Maybe they're from Isan, maybe they're from the north, and you will hear a little bit of no. But they're all coming from tonal language backgrounds. It's relatively easy to adapt for them. They have a whole different fundament that they're working with, or a different foundation. Whereas as English speakers, especially if English is the only language you've ever learned, you're going to be, your foundation is not quite, I don't want to say right, but yeah, it's not quite right for speaking Thai. You have to change a lot of assumptions. So yeah, that's kind of what I guess we're going to talk about today is a video where a Thai speaker, they speak in a way that seems to exhibit a bit of understanding of the language, but a lot of things are, let's say, skipped over. And those things may not be a big deal in a language school because teachers will understand you. But once you get out of your language school and you try to apply that knowledge in the real world, you're going to, I hate to say it this way, but fall flat on your face many times. This is not to say that accent is the same thing as pronunciation, right? So you can have a foreign accent. That's not really what we're talking about. Like, we can give you many examples of fluent speakers with a bit of an accent, and it's not a problem. But the problem is when you don't learn basic phonetics, when you don't learn kind of the basics of how to communicate in this language, so many sounds are similar that you just end up saying kind of nonsense, or it's very difficult to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about today, I guess.
So I show this video clip. We're not going to show you guys this video clip because we cannot do screen sharing today. But I show this video clip to my hairdresser last night and a few people that I know, they all concluded that they didn't understand. They didn't understand anything that the Thai speaker said. So for me as a teacher, of course I understood him fine because I'm used to correcting my students' pronunciation. So I have my way around to like just figure out what they're trying to say, right? But for Thais in general or the locals, they might not be able to understand you. So I think it's really important. So we're gonna play the clip now, and I'm gonna do it, and then I'm gonna kind of stop and pause, and
I'll just follow your lead.
Yeah, we're gonna correct together. So let me start with this one. And by the way, I think the Thai speaker, he didn't say it or respond from his understanding, but more from the script. Like he read the script because I saw his eye just looking at the script. That's also important too, because you want to be able to say it naturally rather than memorizing from the script, because sometimes the script change, right, in real life. You know,
for sure. But to say it another way, I mean, if you're going to read from a script, then maybe a bit more practice would be good. You know, like maybe if you're going to read from a script, then you have the chance to be exact, right? So I don't know. For me, it's like if you're gonna speak freely, then speak freely. But if you're gonna read from a script, well, then that's all the more reason why you should do enough takes that it's kind of. For me, it's fine. It's not just the thing is, it's like that they're advertising being a school for teaching language, right? He says in Thai, if you want to learn Thai, we can help you, or want to learn English, we can help you. But to me, it just red flags go up. Like, well, if your standard for speaking the language is this low, then how well are you really going to be able to get anyone to a high level of fluency? If this is your standard. So I guess if nothing else, we're just sort of trying to show what our standards are as teachers, and why we maybe think that you were talking about sort of the bare minimum, right? That
I feel
that's not being achieved by this kind of method, I guess we should say. So
all right, so I'm going to play the clip now.
Yeah, sure. สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดี
ได้ยินไหม
ชัดมากเลยผู้หญิงพูดว่าสวัสดีค่ะชัดมากเหมือนคนไทยมากเลยครับ
ก็คนไทยพูดไง
Sorry.
สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ What do you think, Luke?
I mean, right? I want to tell a little story. So I follow. I'm learning Burmese, and I follow a channel. It's a Luke Kung Thai Pama, right? So I think her mom's Burmese, dad is Thai, and she has a Thai Yai co-host with her, and the Thai Yai co-host, when he started, did not speak any Thai. So every live stream she would start out Sawadee ka, and him always Sawadee ka, because he doesn't speak Thai. But now they've been streaming for about 3 months, and now he gets Sawadee ka. It's beautiful to watch. You know, it's not to say that this guy is like hopeless, right? It's not hopeless. It's just you would not expect someone to be saying, this is someone who can help teach you language, but when they clearly haven't adapted enough to this language to be comfortable speaking it at all. And one of the things we want to talk about is, you know, hearing the language enough that you can realize, okay, I've never heard a man say "Sawadee ka." I've never heard a man say that, so I'm not going to say that kind of thing. Instead of just kind of taking random stabs in the dark, guessing where the sounds might be, right? And that's what we hear here. Sawadee ka. Right? Hello. Sawadee ka.
English.
Right?
Hello.
We just sort of we just sort of throw it out there just like we would in English. And that's with Thai, that's something with most of my students, you know, it's like I often say, restraint. Like, you know what tone you need to be getting at, but you're letting your free-flowing speaking voice just overtake it, and that can't be. At the beginning, you have to be like, no, it's a high tone, damn it. And I mean,
that's right.
That's something I'm sure you love this in your learners, right? When your learner might say Sawadee ka, wait, no, Sawadee ka, there. That's the fix we want to see, you know, like they're listening to themselves, they're fixing themselves, right? So because in the end, that's the goal, right? That you're able to monitor yourself and correct your own accent. We're just there to help you do that in the beginning, kind of thing, right?
Right.
Good.
I think all my students can relate, because the first word that they would say to me, hello, like Sawadee krap, I would be like, krap,
Krap?
krap,
Yeah.
or just cup, ครับ
Right.
สวัสดีครับ Okay, so let's do the next one.
ได้
ชื่ออะไรคะผมชื่อ Michael.
A little bit of cup there in the
Cup.
yeah.
Well, so this one for me, like, I know it's really tricky to get used to saying English words with a Thai accent, and some people even feel like they're making fun of the Thai language by doing this. But I assure you, you are not. Like, I mean, there are so many stories about this. My first week in Thailand, I'm looking for Black Canyon coffee shop. I'm like, "Khotona ka Black Canyon unite, Black Canyon unite, Black Canyon unite." Everyone's like, my me. I literally had 3 people just go, my me. And I'm like, but it said that there's a Black Canyon in this mall. What are you talking about? And then finally, I was like, yeah, let's try Black Canyon. And immediately, oh, Black Canyon law, right? And what? Oh, actually, that's not even true. I finally was like, all right, we're gonna try it with a Thai accent, Black Canyon. And the lady thought, she stopped. Oh, Black Canyon. And she told me where to go. Right. So, but it was the attempt to say the foreign word with a Thai accent that got me there. I wasn't 100% correct. I didn't use a falling tone, but simply not being like Black Canyon, right? I said Black Canyon, just trying to use the Thai sound system to make the word.
It helps.
So, right. So even if he said ผมชื่อ Michael instead of Michael would be the correct way, right? It sounds a little bit easier on the ear. And I compare this to, like, think about a Thai person introducing themselves with a Thai accent, their name, like, hello, my name is Ratchadapon. I mean, an English speaker, I mean, to you, that's probably no big deal. But to an English speaker, to hear someone say their name is Ratchadapon, instead of being like Ratchadapon or something like this, you know, like, I can't even allocate those sounds in my brain. What are you saying for a name, right? Fortunately, his name's Michael. He doesn't have this problem because Thais know the name Michael, right? So I guess we can let this slide, but at the same time, why? What is the reason for that? It's not a difficult fix. Fix it, you know? Even if it's Michael, which isn't perfect, right? But it's fine. Just try to approximate the tones. Don't just guess randomly.
ใช่
Yeah.
แล้วก็ another thing I want to add is I think he said like quite fine. I think it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
ผมชื่อ ใช่
Yeah, but I didn't really hear the falling tone. However, I understood him just fine this one. So I think you can get away with the wrong tone here, I guess, a little bit. So that's okay.
คุณไมเคิลมาจากไหนคะผมมาจากแคนาดาครับ
มาจากแคนาดาครับ
I mean, for me, I hear like almost a Pali Sanskrit word, like bamaja. Like I mean, honestly, I hear this and I hear kind of like sorry, but Promatan comes to mind because like bamaja.
Virginity.
Yeah. Promatan is like, yeah, exactly.
Is that virginity?
So
or hymen?
I think, isn't Promatan a part of the body actually, the hymen?
Hymen, sorry, yeah, hymen.
Yeah, I think it's the hymen. But yeah, if it's broken, then your virginity's been taken. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, but in any case, right, like I don't hear a Thai word here. I hear a bunch, or I don't hear Thai words. I hear a bunch of syllables that sound like they're connected into one word, which is a very, very important part of speaking English, right? When you speak English, multiple syllables, like "do you want to go" sounds like one word. Do you want to compare that to, I don't know, sounds similar, marijuana? Do you want to? Right? The tone stress is the same whether it's one syllable in multiple words or whether it's one word with multiple syllables. Right? That's not really how Thai works. That's actually a big deal. For example, namdi versus namdi, totally different things because of whether you're thinking of it as one word or multiple words, right? So yeah, I think that's another thing that I'd work on from the very beginning with my students is like, you know, we need to be paying attention to our word breaks where they are and get used to the cadence of Thai, which is not pamajak Canada instead of pomajak. So in that phrase, pomajak, the ma isn't really that important. Like you can kind of just let the ma have no tone really, right? Pom needs to be clear and jak needs to be pomajak, majak. If it's like majak, like low majak, you can't really do much wrong here with those kind of unstressed tones. And so that's one of the things that I try to show in the beginning. It's like, you know, Thai has this kind of rhythm and we got to learn the rhythm. Otherwise, even if your tones are right, it can still be a little awkward. So that's another thing here that could be worked on for sure. And this isn't to say you have to do all of this stuff at once, but a learner who's been with me or most teachers I kind of would say I have trust in or faith in, after 2 or 3 months, they're starting to get their bearings with this kind of approach. And they might make the wrong tone here and there, but you can easily fix it. So that's not what I feel like is going on here, though?
I feel like the word "จาก" here, you can actually shorten it sometimes
Yeah.
quickly without changing the meaning so much. But it depends,
Yeah.
right? It depends how you pause. So
Yeah.
if you say ผมมาจาก then you have to do it long.
Yeah.
But if you do it quickly, ผมมาจาก Canada, ผมมาจาก
ผมมาจาก
Canada, you can shorten
ผมมา
it
จาก
and the
Yes,
meaning
that's
is
quite
still
hard.
fine. It's
I
quite
think
hard.
that's quite hard for a beginner
Yeah, it's
to
quite
say
hard.
it like that clearly. ผมมาจาก Canada.
But it
Chai. I
has
think that's
to be
difficult.
quick and connected. You cannot pause it.
So I would rather, for a beginner, we would teach something like, indeed that the ta, you really focus on that low tone. Even if pom doesn't rise like it should, pom matak, pom matak, Canada. That's fine, right? That's very clear. It's if you just nail that long, so that's really important, right? Not all tones are created equal in Thai,
Yeah.
and in order to be understood. And so yeah, that's something I think is kind of nice to know. It makes it a little cheat code for the beginning. All right.
Okay, cool. Next one.
Sure.
ผมอยู่ที่ใต้ซ่องพี่เหลว
Okay, let me play that again.
Yeah.
ผมอยู่ที่ใต้ซ่องพี่เหลว
ผมอยู่ที่ใต้ซ่องปีเหลว
You go ahead and comment first.
Well, this one, he actually did poem correctly, like with aspiration for the first two poems, yeah. But this one, he said pom with popla, unaspirated
Yeah.
p. Pom, you ti tai. So instead of ti tai with aspiration, there's no aspiration at all,
Yeah.
right? So it's ti tai, song. It's okay. Pi leo, leo.
It's more like Leo. It's more like Leo, actually.
Leo?
Leo.
Okay, you heard it as Leo.
Yeah, some
สองปีแล้ว Leo. Yeah, instead of แล้ว
Yeah.
สองปีแล้ว
So it's like almost like Sung Liu. That's almost what I hear. Liu.
ริ้ว
Song Pi Liu.
สองปี
Song
ริ้
Pi
ว
Liu.
Yeah, I guess.
Song Pi Liu.
What do you
Or maybe Leo. I don't know. Kind of like Leo and Liu, but not Lao in any case. And that's another word. Like Lao is a massively important function word in Thai.
Yeah.
Like I will spend entire classes just having people practice different phrases with Lao over and over, right? Like just doing sort of like กินหรือยัง กินแล้ว ทำหรือยัง ทำแล้ว right? Just really getting them used to that because it's so awkward as a native English speaker. The first couple of times you do this Lao, the vowel is awkward. The high tone is a bit awkward with like the triple vowel, like la, like Lao, like it's really, really messy. It's very messy. Like I'm pretty good at mimicking sounds, but in the beginning it was to get the exact tone. Lao. It's like kind of like you're almost like annoyed. That's how I explain. It's like Lao. Like why are we doing it that way? Why? Okay, Lao. Right? It's very
สูงต้องเป็นเสียงอะไรวะ
yeah.
จำไม่ได้
Sing three, right?
เสียงตรี
Yeah. The high tone.
High tone.
So
Yeah.
and like we said, this is the hardest version of the high tone, right? It's the long vowel,
Last syllable.
open.
ทำเป็น
Right. So it's quite tough. But
Yeah.
if that word was correct, the rest of the sentence would be much more acceptable,
ใช่
kind of thing. Right?
I would
This is once again.
correct
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I would correct he's the ต่อเต่า right? To be taught.
Of course.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one. That one. I
Honestly.
think it's easier to say rather than
Right.
right?
For a native English speaker, absolutely. But see, that's okay. Like for me, this is just a very clear indication that this, he's what's the word? Like I can't think of the English phrase. มันยังไม่ลงตัว. Like he's learning that there are different T sounds in Thai, right? He's learning the different T sounds, and the th sound is harder to pronounce or like as a beginner, and so now he's putting it everywhere. This is a very well documented phenomenon in language learning called overgeneralization. It's like Thais learn that they need to have an S at the end of the word, and they just start putting S's everywhere. Everything's got an X everywhere.
I know.
Right? You know that.
Like what is you doing or something.
Yeah, what's you doing?
I heard it before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've heard so many crazy things where I'm like, what makes you think there's an S there? ก็เขาบอกให้ภาษาอังกฤษมันต้องเติม S ไม่ใช่เหรอ? Well,
เติม S หมดเลย
not everywhere, right? It's the same here, right? ก็เขาบอกว่าภาษาไทยมันต้องใช้ต่อเต่า. Well, not here, right? So that's kind of what it is, and that's totally fine, no problem. Like we're not trying to rip this learner apart by any means, but it's just weird that you would use this to advertise your teaching ability, because this guy has so many things that are just like just sort of what's the word, like just kind of stirring around in the pot, but like haven't quite been cooked yet to the point that they would be usable, so to speak.
Yeah. Which is something that is not impossible to fix at all.
No.
These little sounds, you know?
No.
So, yeah.
I mean, he's already showing he can make, okay, he's an English speaker, I think. His name's Michael. Maybe not, but I'm guessing he is. Maybe his name's actually Misha.
Canadian.
Huh?
He's Canadian.
Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Right. So yeah, right. maybe he's a native French Quebecy speaker, but he doesn't sound like it, right?
No,
it doesn't sound French at all.
No.
Okay. So if he's a native English speaker, he definitely has the T sound in his language.
Exactly.
Most definitely.
So,
even if it's like, okay, so the Thai T is a little bit different than the English T. It's not really more like, right? Yeah, it's not as aspirated, but still, it would be fine, right? If you said T Thai, everyone understands you just fine. It's not ambiguous at all. T Thai. I still hear that as Totahan both times, right? Maybe not the most native sounding, but it's fine. So yeah, we got war going on in the room behind me here. Little children fighting.
แต่ก่อนของอยู่เวียดนาม7 ปี
Okay, let me play the part again.
ได้
แต่ก่อนของอยู่เวียดนาม7 ปี
Okay, I'm gonna have you do the Vietnam part first,
Okay.
maybe. Vietnam.
Okay, so I think to a Thai ear it probably sounds quite funny how he says Vietnam, but if he did actually learn Vietnamese first, Vietnamese in Vietnam, I mean the word Vietnam in Vietnamese is Vietnam. So I mean it still has very English inflection to it, but him getting the tones like the Vietnamese thing is totally understandable. But still, why doesn't the teacher just say it's not Vietnam, it's Vietnam? Like
Vietnam.
practice all this stuff before you put it on the air. Like even if he forgets it the next day, right? Because you know, that's how it works. Everyone thinks like you learn the tones today and then you've learned the tones. No, you learn the tones and then you forget the tones, and you learn them again and you get a little closer, and then you forget them again. You know,
it's okay to forget.
Absolutely.
Keep reviewing.
And like it's also like a hypothesis kind of thing. Like I have one student, he's really good. He was really good at learning the tones. He's not with me anymore, but he just did like 20 lessons and then he was kind of good to go on his own. Like but he came every day. He would have new questions about the tones. Like you and I were discussing earlier. He'd be like, "So some of these low tones kind of sound like they fall a little bit. Am I hearing that right?" And we'd walk through them. And he'd be like, "Okay, so sometimes the falling tone feels like it doesn't really fall. It just kind of hangs in the air. Like if it's preceding another falling tone, for example." Say, very good observation.
Yeah.
You know? But that kind of stuff takes time. You can't just hear it all in one go. You can't just expect it. Okay, I learned about the high tone today. I'm done with the high tone. Hell no, you just started. It's the very first day, right? And I feel like a lot of learners think that language learning, they learn it and then it's just done. And if they forget it, they're a bad learner, right? And
exactly.
That's not
they
at all.
beat themselves up for that. Yeah,
they beat themselves up and they're like, "Oh man, I can't believe I forgot that." It's like everybody forgot it. In fact, everybody forgets it. My daughter is a native Thai speaker, but we watched her go through this. She would say words with the wrong tone. It's really common actually that little kids say words with the wrong tone, right? So like I remember one time I was with a 7-year-old Thai girl and she said, "Ni lan nuat." And everyone's like, "What? Lan nuat? What are you talking about?" Right? Like
lan nuat, like mustache.
And the thing is, native Thais never allow that with each other. Like if someone says the wrong tone, you just say the right tone back, and they hear it. And there's no big tra-la-la made about it. It's not this huge event. It's just no one even says no. They just say the right tone. They kind of chuckle about you saying the wrong tone, and that's the end of it. And yeah, I mean, my experience is that's all that you really need the most part is to give people a realistic experience of having their tone corrected, and they will eventually start to gravitate towards correct tones.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
7 ปีและเรียนภาษาเวียดนาม
Chet B. Okay, so I want to talk about this one. Chet. CH. Chet.
Yeah.
And J.
Well.
And Chet.
We kind of have Thai road signs to blame for this, right? You have like Chitlom and Plunchit both being spelled with CH, and they're right beside each other.
That's not helpful.
I mean, how are we supposed to know that those are two different sounds, right? That's insane. That's absolutely mad. That's madness, right? Chulalongkorn spelled with CH. I have some very advanced learners who went to Chula and they still say Chula because why wouldn't they? It's spelled with a CH. It's so silly.
You know why it's spelled with CH, right? You know that.
I think it's Pali Sanskrit thing. Yeah, because they're both like one's the aspirated, one's the unaspirated version, and there's no way to mark the aspiration here because the H is already there. So what are you gonna do? CH and CHH? No one's gonna like that, so they just use CH for both.
But I mean, I mean, why would we use the spelling from Pali Sanskrit when we actually have our own pronunciation? That's just interesting.
Yeah, for learners to deal with sounds like these.
I actually stopped teaching with Romanization.
Yeah.
Easier for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what I notice happens, Sarah, is that it's kind of exactly what we're talking about. So by using less romanization, people try less quickly to jump into long sentences, which can be frustrating for some. I mean, I love when I'm learning a new language to start building long sentences from like day 3, you know. But the truth is, you really don't need to be doing that so fast. You need to get more used to the language before you start to try and build these long sentences, because you have no way to approximate the rhythm. That's not to say that no one can do it. Some people can do this, but they need tons of, yeah, it's not Paige, it's Paige's friend.
Okay.
But yeah, it's, hold on, I actually have to check to make sure everyone's okay. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
You hold down the fort for a second, please.
โอเคแล้วตอนนี้คุณไมเคิลเรียนไทยไหมคะ
ใช่ครับพร้อมหรือยัง
So this one, right? The speaker asks, คุณไมเคิลเรียนไทยไหมคะ So it's a question that ends with ไหม We don't usually answer with Thai. If the question ends with ไหม mostly we answer with the main word or the verb. So he should have said เรียนภาษาไทยอยู่ครับ Yeah. เรียนครับ instead of saying Thai, that one. Okay.
Yeah, because the question wasn't chai mai, right? If the yeah, it's okay. If the question was chai mai, then you can gladly say chai. But if it's just,
because like the question chai mai is kind of like, is that right? And you say that's correct. That's right.
Right.
That's how you answer.
Yeah, actually, that's so I'm trying to make my own little version of Duolingo or something. And when you get the question right, at first I had the voice was ถูกต้องครับ. But I thought, for a beginner, that's like kind of advanced vocabulary and kind of maybe a little intimidating. So instead I switched ถูกต้องครับ for chai krap. And I like that because it instills a sense of chai means correct. It doesn't just mean yes. It means
correct.
yes, correct.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you think of it that way, then your chances of using it this way are lower. But that's kind of the problem with coming out the bat, learning Thai just without paying attention to the little details, right? I mean, like, and Thai is a language where if you have the basics down, at least in my experience, you can get a lot further in the like high beginner, low intermediate level than you can in a lot of languages.
Correct.
Right? Absolutely, right? Because in English, like once you get to the high beginner, low intermediate level, grammar starts to become way more important. Starts to become way more difficult. And with a language like German or French, I mean, really difficult.
Not Thai.
But not Thai, exactly. But
No.
Thai, no. Once you get the actual initial building blocks in place,
Tones,
the tones and the vowels,
yeah,
consonants. Once you get the basic sounds in your head, it's crazy how much you can get done with like 200 or 300 words.
I have been trying to tell like some learners, like they want to do like conversation and stuff, and I said, you don't even have the foundation strong yet. How can you go there? Yeah. So it would be
and
really
Thai is like,
because
like people think like conversation is gonna be about like learning how to say like we've talked about this before. People use the word I and you constantly while they're making conversations, and you're just handicapping yourself. Stop saying pom and kun all the time. That doesn't make that's not how Thai people talk. So starting in conversation too early after not hearing enough Thai people speak to be like, they don't actually really hardly ever say this unless they want to be like emphasizing the subject or the object, right? Like you don't really do that. You just say, it's a lot of verbs. It's a lot of verbs and particles. And getting used to that kind of in a way where you're not trying to go out and use it a bunch yet is way more useful in the long run. I mean, even in the short term, not the long run, just like in like the intermediate 2-month, 3-month period. People who take this seriously, learn the sound system, learn the tones, even if they don't master them, just being oriented to these things, they excel so much faster in making basic conversation with shopkeepers, with salespeople, etc. And it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Comment มา Kadri Luke bro.
Yeah, Luke. Kadri, what's up, Kitty? Yeah, one of my friends back from Germany.
เป็น friend ใช่ไหมเดี๋ยวจะให้แบบว่า หมดก่อนเลยเดี๋ยวไม่ทันเอา
ครับ
ให้มันทั้งหมดก่อนแล้วเดี๋ยวค่อยพูด
ได้
เรื่องอื่นทีเดียว
ได้เอาเลยต่อไป
เข้าใจทำไมฝรั่ง
นี่นะ
ใช่ครับผมเรียน
Oh but he said ผมเรียน That's okay That's good then He said ใช่ครับผมเรียน
ครับ
But
ผม
well,
เรียน
we don't really say Thai first we just say ผมเรียนเรียนภาษาไทยไหมเรียนครับ I would say that เรียนครับ yeah
or even ครับผมเรียนครับ
Yeah,
ครับ
but
would be
just
fine
Yeah, crap. This one is important part. He want to say he doesn't understand why people don't learn Thai. Yeah.
ผมไม่เข้าใจทำไมฝรั่งบางคนไม่อยากเรียนไทย
ผมไม่เข้าใจทำไมฝรั่งบางคนไม่อยากเรียนไทย This is the version, correct version, right? ผมไม่เข้าใจทำไมฝรั่งบางคนไม่อยากเรียนไทย So probably to native speakers, probably like these two versions sound totally different. But I understand because I'm a Thai teacher, so I can.
Yeah,ผมไม่ is like you might like it, but I don't. คุณอาจจะชอบนะแต่ผมไม่ right? It's like it's its own idea. You can't split ไม่ from the verb like that.
ผมไม่เข้าใจ
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 And
ว่า
like, and you might, and that's another thing that's like, it's one of my, I had a German teacher who was really good at this at level 2. He was like, it's like, okay, here's a list of 5 different ways that you can stall for time, right? So for example, here, if he wanted to stall while he was thinking, ผมไม่เข้าใจว่า or even just ผมไม่เข้าใจ and just let the chai trail off, right? That'd be fine too. But you can't trail off at the mai because it means something totally different.
Yeah.
Like it,
ผมไม่เข้าใจว่าทำไม like the aspiration thing.
Yeah, that's
I would
constant
correct
problem
like
throughout.
ผม
Absolutely.
ไม่เข้าใจทำไมฝรั่งบางคนไม่เรียนภาษาไทย
Right.
or ไม่เรียนไทย and he said Thai like a kidney Thai, you know.
Yeah. My rin Thai. Yeah. I mean, you got to know your kidneys, man.
ถ้าพวกเขาต้องการอยู่ที่ไทย
พวกเขาต้องการอยู่ที่ใต้
I mean, there's just a total lack of understanding going on here. Like pluck. It's like pluck, like Paul mina god go pluck instead of pluck, right? Pluck. Like pluck, like PWAK. Like it's not, right? I know that PUA in English can go like pwa, but in Thai it's pua. Like it's 2 vowels separate from one another. Yeah.
So it's the same things over and over, like the ต่อเต่า overgeneralization that you said, right?
Right. So what that means is if from day 1 we're fixing these things, within a month's time, this is all not all entirely squared away, but squared away enough that you can hear, some experience exists in this person's Thai learning life. Like, but this just feels like, I mean, people say that you're being like way too hard with your critique of it, but for me, it's just like, I don't know. I think I could take most of my students, and if I sat down with them for an hour after having maybe 1 lesson with me, I think I could make them do this better. Like, like it's very, it's scripted, right? It's based off a script. Like you can do each sentence, like you can practice each sentence and then deliver it. Like it's not rocket science. You can just learn it and then practice it and then do it.
I mean, for us, the letter, the sound ทอทหาร and ต่อเต่า are pretty different.
Yeah.
So they're not the same, right? So I think I just feel like the teacher should have just focus on the differences because they might sound like similar to English speakers.
Yeah.
Not.
But it's just so much, right? It's so much. Like we could keep going. Like okay, he doesn't say kon, he says con.
Yeah.
Ta con, right? Like ta. What is ta? Guitar, I guess. And con, like what is a con? don't even know. Falcon. I mean, no, but it doesn't mean anything. So I guess that's okay. You can understand that it means con. But you know what I mean? It's just.
ถ้าพวกเขาต้องการอยู่ที่ไทยต้องการอยากจะอยู่ไทยใช่ไหมเวลาเราพูดก็อยากจะอยู่ไทย
Yeah, but I think he's not the one who wrote the script, so you can blame the Thai teacher for this one because
it sounds so formal.
You know he didn't write this. You know, yes, pretty sure he was just reading off of. Well, that's the question, right? That's the question, Martin. Is he just? He was definitely reading off a script.
Yeah.
But does he? If he doesn't know Thai, then what? Like, why are we plopping this guy down and making him an advertisement? We're not critiquing the guy. We're critiquing the use of his Thai as an advertisement for we can teach you Thai. Like this should be no one's standard of learning Thai. No one. Not even my worst
Not
learner
even a
should not.
bare minimum.
No,
Not
no
even
one
a
should
bare minimum.
be shooting for
No.
this. Like no one should be shooting for this.
Yeah.
การเรียนทำให้เราเป็นเด็กอยู่เสมอ
Summer. การเรียน
I
ทำ
mean,
ให้
this-
เราเป็นเด็ก Summer. I actually that one is common mistake. ใช่ไหม said we have to vowel and a lot of Thai learners will say, like including my students too, be like like,
Yeah,
and, like
but that's as close as they can get, right?
Yeah,
As close as they can get. Like it's like a Thai learner's gonna Thai person can make the same mistake in English. Like instead of saying number or number, they say number, number, right?
Same thing. That can be correct as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it can. It can.
Yeah.
Keep going.
ค่ะ
เราไม่ควรหยุดที่จะเรียน
And this one is good though. เราไม่ควรหยุดที่จะเรียน I get it. What do you think?
It was acceptable. Yeah, it was acceptable. That one was good.
That one's good. Yeah. Almost done.
ตาคุณ
We're still doing ta here. So it's
Yeah.
ta. Ta means if. Ta. So the difference between ta and ta, right? Ta is air. Ta.
Hmm.
Ta.
Not much air, but a little bit of air.
Not
yeah.
much air as like English tea.
But that's what I said, right?
Air. Just use
It
some
seems
air.
like he's in the midst of learning. He's in the midst, like he's realized that okay, it's not quite ta, but it's also not, but it's not ta by any chance, right? So he's trying to find that sweet spot, and that's totally fine. But why would you air this? Why would you air this? What are you doing? Like honestly, for me, this is not a critique of his Thai as much of it is the person who is training him or using his voice as a beacon of their Thai learning abilities. What are you doing? Like think about what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
เราช่วยคนได้
เราช่วยคุณได้
เราสอนภาษาไทยและอังกฤษ
ภาษาไทยและอังกฤษได้ไหม
Yeah.
อังกฤษ Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I think it's frustrating. A lot of foreigners have a tough time with the word angry. I mean, there are some who say angry, pasa angry. There's all kinds of weird. Yeah, it's the angry language. That's funny. Angry is kind of like agreed. Right? Angry. I don't know, but yeah.
How do we say it correctly?
Angry.
Angrid. Yeah, but you can drop
the
again in conversation. Angrid. Yeah, ภาษาอังกฤษ ภาษาอังกฤษ
ภาษาปากีส
ภาษาปากีส
น้องต้อง
I hate it so much.
ค่ะ
Long too. So this one wasn't good at all. So the other person, the teacher, had to correct him. Otherwise, I wouldn't understand either. So.
But that's my whole thing. Why wouldn't you be like, cut? Are we doing the whole thing? Like, cut.
Anyway, so
ใช่ติดต่อเราได้
yeah, the rest is pretty much the same. So anyway, so I think for me, I feel like these kind of mistakes can be avoided, and like you said, should practice a little bit more before making this video, maybe, or correct him a little bit more. I feel like the standards for Thai learners are very low in general. It's like whatever you say, like sweaty crab, sweaty thing, crab.
Saudi crab.
Sari crab. I think my learner said to me sweaty cock before, which is kind of weird. But
yeah.
like you know, if people were gonna say like, oh, พูดไทยเก่งมาก I mean, come on, like
Believe him. Don't believe him.
yeah, like no.
Like,
Yeah, like-
read a little bit. All of the Thai tourists, like the Thai tour guides, like the books, they tell you this. They say Thai people love to give compliments to foreigners and see the smile on their face. Like they tell you this. Do not think for a second when someone says, "Oh, your Thai is good," that they just mean it. Like you need to be your own gauge. And well, teachers should help you be gauges. But unfortunately, a lot of teachers are very happy to give you kind of just a good feeling of success. And okay, look, let's be real here. You know, some people are going to argue like, well, you know, it's good. You don't want to demotivate learners. You don't want to make them sad. You don't want to make them feel bad about their ability to learn. It's like, okay, fine. Let's accept that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it your way. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens, though. After 4 months, this person's no longer with you, and they go try to use Thai, and people keep looking at them like, are you speaking Thai? Are you actually speaking Thai?
Yeah, do
like,
you want
what's
that?
going on here?
That's the question. Like, do you want that for yourself?
because you won't. What's going to happen is that happens to you for like a week, and now you're like, okay, so I wasted all this time learning this language, and no one even understands me anyway. That's insane. Like, I have a student who's been with me for a bit now, and he, by his own admission, he's like, I'm just trying to go at a slow pace. And what that means is he doesn't learn that many words. He does not learn a lot of words because he doesn't practice a lot of time doing vocab or whatever. So but what we do is make very solid use of the things he knows. So, I can say to him now, สวัสดีครับ กินข้าวหรือยัง กินแล้วครับ กินอะไรมา ผมไม่รู้ครับ มันชื่ออะไร I mean, okay, it's not perfect. He might forget the why or whatever, but he speaks in a way that I understand him. It's not complicated. It's not impressive.
That's much
but
better.
It's understandable.
Much better.
Yeah.
Because it's helpful.
Yeah. And the thing is, at that point, anywhere he goes, no matter what direction, whether he learns book Thai, whether he learns only spoken Thai, whether he learns news Thai, it doesn't matter because the foundation is there. Everything he learns from now will build on that correctly. Exactly. And that's what we're kind of honestly freaking out about. Like, how can you act like you are a school if you do not place any importance on this foundation, which is the only thing you really need to be able to do Thai?
Yeah. Like, my policy when it comes to teaching is I want to give the learners the foundations. If they have all the foundations they need, they'll be fine on their own. They can even self-study, So it's not so much about me being the babysitter. Like, I don't want to babysit anyone for the rest of their life. Try to do Romanization with them, like how could I put it? Accommodate, right? Their request. I don't want to do that. I want to see them grow and do that by themselves.
Because the only
that's a goal
people they'll end up being able to speak Thai to are like other, sorry, but like hack job foreigners who didn't really take the time to learn Thai the right way to begin with. And then like, it's kind of like what so many foreigners have said, learning Thai is just a party trick. Well, it is when you treat it like one. When you treat learning Thai like a party trick, then it's a party trick. If you take if you take the learning of the language seriously, you invest time in it, you learn how Thai people definitely don't go out blabbing a whole bunch if they know they don't sound good, for example. Like, like kind of acquiring some of that, listening a lot, and then eventually you will explode. Eventually your knowledge will just unfold in ways that you did not think were possible because you're building it up, you're acquiring it. In fact, I'll make one last point. I had a friend who he learned at the university that I used to go to and teach at, and I always said I was kind of anti learning the script. If you have a decent transliteration system, you don't need it. I was kind of anti-learning a bunch of things about Thai grammar. For example, when you put the adjective behind, when you put it, I thought, you could really just learn a lot from basic sentences. In fact, I see lots of people who come to Thailand and they learn pretty good Thai. Well, he shouldn't be wrong. Within 2 years, I mean, like the first year his Thai was very slow to develop, but by year 2, there was just this crazy explosion where he could read books, he could give short speeches in Thai, like presentations in Thai with very clear accent. And on top of that, he was also able to acquire the spoken language pretty quickly too. So I was definitely proven wrong by at least several of these students who they kept saying it's the foundation. And the university might make it a bit formal. They might formalize that foundation maybe a little more than needs to be for a language like Thai, but it still doesn't kill them. Like knowing that foundation will eventually, no matter how you learn that foundation, whether it's a spoken foundation or a written foundation, if it's the fundamental basics are right, you don't need much else after that. Really.
Right. Anyway, Mar 10 said I was just tuning in, so I didn't know about the context, but it sounds like if I write a script and let a friend read it, as opposed to somebody who has learned the language. Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's the question. That's the question. I mean, maybe, and the idea though is, why is this being shared as anything that is, like what's the word? I mean, it's definitely achievable. That's not the word. As something that is like worthy of aspiring towards. Like, it's just like, what's the point? So I question the motives, right? That's the thing. It's like I question the motives. What are you trying to show me?
I don't think so. I mean, to be honest, I don't agree it would be an inspiration, because we need to set the bar a little bit higher.
A little higher.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not like millions of years.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit. But this is not even a bare minimum.
No.
Like we shouldn't see this as a bare minimum at all.
ใช่ครับ and
It's
we shouldn't have this mentality that this is the best that foreigners can
No.
do, because it ain't. I've seen very, very, very weak learners do way, way, way better than
Yeah.
this in
Yeah.
a pretty short time.
Yeah.
So that whole idea, well, he's a foreigner. It's the best you can do. And Thai people are maybe more guilty of this than Westerners. But they're a foreigner. This is the best they can do. แค่นี้ก็ดีแล้ว แค่นี้ก็พอแล้ว
ยา
right
กไง
right ภาษา
ภาษายาก
ไทยยากที่สุดในโลก blah blah blah. I mean, like Thai people ก็ถูกหลอกว่าภาษาไทยเป็นภาษาไทยเป็นภาษาที่คนอื่นเรียนไม่ได้ blah blah blah. Like it's not that's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
But ใช่มันไม่จริง and it พออุปกรณ์การเรียนการสอนมันดีพอก็ no problem นะ
Yeah.
seriously no problem at all. I've never found
อุปกรณ์การเรียนการสอนแปลว่าอะไรอุปกรณ์การเรียนการสอน in English
learning materials.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if you have good learning materials, if you actually put in a lot of effort, it's good too. It's always appreciated. But you need to make sure that you learn the right things.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, you
Yeah,
need to
I mean,
unlearn things later.
So seriously, if you're watching this and you want to do self-study, just do this. Like, just make sure you build the right fundamentals. And eventually, if you keep exposing yourself to the language, you will be totally fine. But if you don't orient yourself to the tones, you don't orient yourself to the pronunciation of the consonants, down the road, you're going to find yourself speaking way too fast, and it's going to take a lot of steps back to fix that work, and you're going to feel like you wasted a lot of time.
Yeah,
So.
that's something I always tell people, like, work on the foundations. You thank me later. You
And isn't that everything in life?
You might hate me now, but you thank me later.
It doesn't, it's everything in life, right? Like playing sports, writing pretty, drawing good pictures. You have to learn how to draw a straight line, very straight, a circle, very circular, before you're able to actually draw a nice picture.
Right.
Some people will have different amounts of experimentation. Experimentation is encouraged and allowed, but always bring yourself back to the fundamentals to check, right? Am I drifting too far? Am I going too far from the basics? If not, okay, good, keep going. If I am, okay, come back, rehash the fundamentals, then continue. So this really wasn't an attack on them. It's just a jump off point for us to explain how we believe the Thai language should be taught, should be learned, should be approached. And everything in this video is antithetical. It's opposite of that. So yeah, they might be mad and blocking you, but I don't know why. I feel like they just listen to what we're saying instead of hearing it as a absolute flame or roast of them.
Constructive criticism. Yeah.
Then they realize that there's a lot they can do without having to do a lot, if that makes sense. They could make a huge change by just adjusting a bit, because dude, Westerners want to hear your critiques. They want to get fixed. They want to sound good. Yeah. They're not going to be mad if you're like, yo, that's still not right. Try it again. That's still not right. Try it again. Like 95% of learners are grateful for this.
Like I said, they will thank me later. They will realize and thank me later. Yeah. Anyway, so I have to go now. I have class, but thank you so much for being here, Luke. And maybe we can do this again with another topic. Yeah.
ได้วันหลังเดี๋ยวมารีวิวฝรั่งที่พูดไทยเก่งๆดีกว่า
วันหน้าหรือวันหลังเอาให้แน่
แล้วแต่เช็ดหน้าหรือเช็ดหลัง Wait what All right
Okay all right See you later
Bye bye ครับ
Thank you ค่ะ everyone ขอบคุณค่ะ